All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Triathlon freak here from Hamburg, Germany, with two Johns today with me, John Curtis and John Philip, and I have a pleasure to welcome both of these guys. You guys probably know John Curtis from the last hangout, but if you don't, he will introduce himself during the hangout, and we will also hear the story of John Philip. He's new to our hangout, so he's a freshman here. So you know, I'm pretty curious about what he's going to share with us on this hangout. But before we start talking to these two gentlemen and hear what they want to share with us and with me, I just want to give you a couple of really helpful tips regarding your marketing. If you are somebody who is having a business already, or even you don't have any business, but you kind of feel you would like to join some kind of business opportunity, but you don't know how, you don't know when, you don't know what to do, you don't know what kind of business opportunity to join. You know, maybe you can listen to us a little bit and see if what we have here is something you may like. I actually was on a conference together with these two gentlemen sitting here with me on this hangout in Las Vegas, where we met a very famous but very interesting guy, Neil Patel. It's somebody you may have heard of, maybe not. Just check the Google. He's the guy who is behind two very successful companies. One of them is called His Metrics, another one is called Crazy Egg. And I know just one of these companies. I mean, Crazy Egg is pretty awesome software where you can test your website, where your customers are actually clicking on, what part of your website they are spending most of their time, and you know where the focus of your customers is going. So just check it out. It's pretty awesome stuff. So this guy was having a presentation about blogging, because what I've heard, this guy is so good that even the biggest companies out there, like Amazon or eBay, are asking him to help them reaching or getting more customers to their website. So this guy is somebody who knows his stuff, and he shared with us a couple of tips how to attract more customers. And one of the best ways to attract customers, I believe, and these two gentlemen here with me, both Johns will tell their opinion on this, is to start blogging, because blogging is something that's very easy to start. You don't have to invest a lot of money, and if you are in certain niche, I mean, all of us are in a certain niche. There is some kind of business you are having, or you are thinking about having, and you want to talk to your customers. One of the great ways to talk to your customers and attract them is start blogging, because you don't really need to spend a lot of money on advertisement. You don't really need to kind of go out there and talk to your customers or talk to anybody. You just start blogging, and as you blog, you kind of get momentum. And if you do it the right way, people start contacting you. You may give your email address or some kind of contact details on your blog, and people come to you, and they will ask you whatever they want to ask you. So Neil Patel actually shared a couple of tips with us how to start blogging, how to be a good blogger, and I want to share a couple of these tips with you guys here. First thing you should know is who is your customer. So if you are in any kind of niche, in any kind of business, you should know who may actually benefit from your service. So make sure you know exactly who is your customer, and one of the ways how to find out who your customer is to go to the forums. Because let's say you are in a niche where you offer let's say some kind of advice, financial advice, let's say. You may actually go to some forums or blogs where people ask all kind of different questions about their finances. If they are in debt, or they're looking for a kind of insurance, so that you know, or you kind of look for questions these customers are asking, so that you know what to blog about. Because it's one thing to blog about what you believe that is valuable to people out there, but it's completely another thing when you actually find out what the people really need, just because they ask certain questions. So you may come up with very interesting ideas what to blog about and how to blog about things. So this is one of the things I wanted to share with you. Another one is to use a lot of you and I, because people are really attracted to somebody who is not kind of hidden behind some kind of brand or some kind of logo. So you have to be really personal with whatever you are writing about. So make sure you use a lot of you, lot of I. Another fantastic tip, actually, what I learned from Neil Patel is heading. I spend quite a lot of time with writing my content. I decide on what to write about, and then I start writing. And it takes me. It may take me 1 hour. It may take me 3 hours. It's a long time. But what I learned from Neil Patel is that it's fine. That's all okay. But you should actually spend more time with your headline, which is kind of crazy, you know. Because people are actually attracted to the headline. So if you, and it makes sense, because if you are going to the bookstore and you are looking for a book to read on certain subject, first thing that you see is the cover of the book, right? And then the headline. And if you see or you read something that is valuable, something that kind of speaks to you, you know, you're gonna start reading the book. Maybe the first couple of pages, you just pick it up, and that's the first way how to, you know, how to get involved. So make sure your headline is something that your customers are looking for. You know, there must be some kind of hook, something that they instantly want to know more about. So make sure you know what kind of headlines to use. Another great tip, in your blog post, use headlines. Some of the folks, they don't go through the whole content you have on your blog. They just kind of skim the whole content. And if you have nice headings, maybe 3 or 5 of them in your blog post, people immediately, you know, okay, this part of this blog is about this, and the other part is about this. So make sure, if people are just skimming and are looking for certain particular part of your content, that you use headings. The length of your blog post, the shortest one should be actually 500 words, but if it's like 1,000 words or even 2,000 words, it's even better. It's better for the ranking, it's better for Google to pick up on your blog post. So make sure your blog post is long enough. It shouldn't be like just 200 or 100 words just because you don't have time. So make sure your blog posts are long enough. All right, what do we have here? A couple of more info. All right, you should actually avoid words with multiple meanings. As we know, Google is a machine. There are not people behind the Google who are reading blog posts and trying to rank them. They are just a machine. So you should make sure that your blog posts and your headings as well don't have multiple meanings. It should have just one meaning, and it should be very clear for any Google machine, you know, what a blog post is about. So that's all for now, guys. I don't want to keep it too long now and too overwhelming. I might have some more tips for you later on in the future. I just give word to John Curtis now if he wants to add anything, because me and both Johns, we are blogging every day, so we know something, and anything that might help you guys out there, you know, we want to share with you. And let's see what John, you know, has for us here.
All right, Maros. Hey, thank you very much, man. That was some good stuff. It's real important, you know, a lot of the stuff that you said, and I'll touch base on a few things that you said, because I think it's really important. So I guess I'll be John 1 for now and introduce myself. So I'm John Curtis. I'm West Coast dog trainer. I'm a dog trainer, and I've been professionally dog training for about 20 years. I started training dogs. And I specialize in behavior modification, and that's really what I use my blog for. So just a couple of things real quick. I want to touch base on businesses. You know, everybody has to market your business one way or another, and in order to do that today, effectively, you need to utilize the internet. You need to utilize a lot of different affiliations and third-party organizations in order to get the word out properly to the proper audience. And it's real important. Once you learn things, you make mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes. And we have all made a lot of mistakes, but we are at the point now to we really have some great information and great resources in order to get the word out. So for those of you that don't have a blog, you need to click on the button and definitely get the blog. That's definitely the first thing that you need to do. And for those of you that do have a blog, there's some great information that we just went over, that Maros just went over. So I just want to touch base on a couple of those things. And a blog. So like, what are you going to write about? So basically, you're going to write about exactly what you do. What is your passion? What is your value in this world that you want other people to know about you? And that's really, really important, because you have a business, you have an organization, you have something that you want people to know. And that's really what you want to talk to people about, because it comes from your heart. It's your passion, like I said. So that's number one. And once you learn how to do that, you're going to get better at expressing yourself. You're going to get better at getting the word out, and you're going to get learn different techniques, such as some of the things that Maros mentioned. So you work on your headline. You know, you want to aim for 6-word headlines. That's some of the best things that you want to do. And the reason you want to do that is because, just like Maros mentioned, Google picks up on certain things, and if you do a really good job, Google gives you like that star, you know, that pat on the back, and you want to really get the advantage of being able to get in front of the audience that you want to reach, right? So whatever specific audience you want to try to reach, you have that advantage of being able to reach them. So if you're a real estate agent, or if you're a dog trainer like myself, or if you have some other business that you want to try to get the word out. For example, I know, well, actually, I'm part of a great organization. It's National Paw Pals, and it's a nonprofit organization that gets emergency dog food out to dogs all across America in emergency situations. So it's really, really a valuable resource for us to get the word out, like I said, because we need donations and we need different things. So that's important to really reach people that want to be able to help out, that are able to help out in those situations. So that's why you definitely want to have the blog, because you have the ability to reach those people. So 6-word headlines, you know, you don't want to use words with multiple meanings. You want to try to stay away from stuff like that. But you're going to learn how to do different things. You're going to be able to learn that you want to use headlines 3 to 5 times. Like Maros said, about 2,000 words is the goal. If you can aim for that, you want to wrap it up with conclusions. So all of these different tips and techniques are going to get you ahead of where you are. So right now you are paying a lot of money for different resources, for business cards, for websites, for marketing, for different things that's going on for people to be able to get the word from what your business is, because you want customers, right? If you don't have any customers, you don't have any business, right? And we want to be able to get the word out. So whatever it is that you want to get the word out about, if you're a writer, if you're trying to start something new, this is the best alternative out there, in my opinion, to be able to utilize this platform that we're utilizing, that's going to be able to get the word out the way that we're getting the word out. And we have the tips and techniques that are going to be able to help you. So that's really all I have to say about the blog itself. And as far as me, if you know me, that's awesome. All right. If you don't know me, just a little quick thing about me. I'm like I said, training dogs for 20 years. I'm born and raised in New York, but I've been in San Diego, California for about half my life. And I started Empower Network because I knew there was, I knew there was something different that was available out there. And what I knew is that once I put myself of 100% effort into my business with a platform that has enabled us to be able to utilize our passions and our goals and get the word out there and help so many more people with what it is that we're trying to get the word out. So that's been a really, really true blessing. And the reason why I am just busting hump out there is to be able to, like I said, help a lot of people and change a lot of lives. So that's just a little bit about me. So I appreciate you guys listening to that, and I'm going to let John number two here get in and share his story. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, John. It was fantastic. Thanks for your insights. And what we are having here, guys, before I'll let John Philip talk about his story, is that we are actually using the blogging platform we are offering here. The way to join it is actually the button is below this video. Just check it out. It's just amazing. And so many people get stuck just with starting a blog, you know, like with domain and with the hosting and everything. It's all this is taken care of already. So what we have here, guys, we offer here a platform that is working, that is that's something we use in our business, in my business, and in John's business, and something that is working. So I just wanted to stress this before we jump into the next part of our hangout. And John Philip here with us. John, how are you?
I'm great, Maros. It's good to be on here with you and John C. You know, you guys I've just been sitting here listening and wow, you know, you're really hitting on some great points, and I'm just going to come on and sort of nudge those a little bit further because, you know, Maros, you asked me to tell my story a little bit, and I think I'm going to sort of weave that into it. But what I really want to get across to the viewers today, you know, is that first of all, that the blog is such a powerful marketing tool. I think if there was a blogometer, it would be off the charts right now. We've said the word so many times, and people might be like, blog, what is that? But, you know, I could point to just several examples of how powerful it is, and it can be for your business. You know, look at what Neil Patel has done with the blog. But you know, you don't even have to be a Neil Patel. You don't have to make blogging and you know, analytics and all of that your passion. But what you can do is you can use blogging to promote your passion and to promote your business. And John Curtis is a perfect example of that. How he's used it to not only promote his business but to promote his nonprofit. And so it's just great. It shows how useful it is and how effective it can be. I want to tell another story though from the conference. I met a gentleman who was he sells, let's see, woodworking machinery, I believe. Yeah, it was woodworking machinery. Some really like high-end quality woodworking machinery, and he told me about how for the last 3 months he had been spending something like $26,000 on Google AdSense and getting his website. Now this is where I want to get into the difference between a blog and a website. Now he was getting his website on the first page of Google. So when somebody searched for his particular product, his website would show up. Now that was exciting for him, and he thought, well, this is working. But the only problem is that he wasn't getting any conversions. He wasn't selling from that website. So, you know, he's still discouraged. Well, then he came across this blogging platform that we're talking about today, and, you know, he put it to use. He started writing about his product on a regular basis, and using some of the tricks and tips that we've talked about today about headlines, and I'll touch on those again in a little bit. But he started blogging regularly about his product with pictures and everything, and those same blog posts about that same product ended up on the first page just below his website, like one or two below his website. And he had his phone there, and he showed me. He said, look at this, look at the power of this blog. It's gotten my blog post up to the front page of Google after I've spent all these thousands of dollars on ads to get my website there, and it didn't convert any sales. Furthermore, he said that from his blog he landed 3 sales in 1 month. Okay, so whether you want to promote yourself or you want to promote an affiliate product, which is very powerful and very lucrative. Or you want to promote a business, a product that you might have. It could be anything, really. I have a client who's promoting scarves and hats that she makes, and full fleeces that she gets, sheep fleece and camel fleece and all this. Again, just her writing a little bit about it and including some pictures and some videos and giving some value to her customers just really boosts her business and not only gives her a place to sell, but also gives her a marketing platform. So these are some really great examples of why the blog is such a powerful marketing tool. And there's a lot of personal reasons to blog too. I'll get into that a little bit with my story. I've always considered myself a lifelong learner. I'm always looking for new things to learn and just really diving into things and trying to learn all about it that I can. And one of the best ways that to learn something is to actually learn, do, and then teach. And so as a blogger, what you end up doing is you learn some of these. Whether it's about blogging or about your passion, you learn about it, and then you put it to use, and you actually teach others about it. And through that exchange, you're bringing value to your customers or to your viewers, and you're bringing value to yourself. You're bringing personal growth to yourself. And I think John Curtis mentioned about the reason he got into Empower Network, and such a great example, of how he got into it, because he knew that it was something, not just a great product and not just a great business opportunity, but it's a life-changing experience that really you can take it at whatever level you like, but really it has the potential to really change your life, and you have the potential to develop personally in big ways. A couple things about the headline and some of the tips that I just wanted to jump off of what you guys were saying about that with some of my notes from Neil Patel. The other thing you mentioned 6-word headlines. For those of you who are bloggers and you're wondering, how do I get a good headline? There's a couple other tips. I have a blog post about it, but I'll share with you some of the points that I mentioned in that blog post. And one of them being that you want to keep the headline around 6 words, but also around 65 characters. And again, this may not be here nor there to your viewer, but to the eyes of Google and to the bots that go out and look for text and content to put on that search engine, if it's too long, they might skip over it. So that's one thing. Also, can you guys hear me okay? Is this, yeah? Just want to double. Okay, great. Yeah. Sometimes I get going, and I want to make sure that it's coming across all right. Okay. So the other thing is make your headline match the content. I'm not sure if you mentioned this, Maros. Maybe you did. But make sure it matches the content. You're not saying something about video games in the headline, and then you're blogging about a new TV show. Because people, that's probably one of the biggest turnoffs, is when somebody, they're like, ooh, this is going to be a good one, and when they read your headline, but then they get to the article, and then boom, it's something totally unexpected. And even if it might be something appealing to them, they're still going to think it's pretty weird that it doesn't match the headline, and they might move on. And as Maros mentioned too, that you want to not only use a good headline, but use good headers throughout your blog. I don't know how many times I pull up a blog post, and it's like a sea of words, and my eyes just don't know where to start. And frankly, I don't always have the time to read through an entire blog post of words. And so one of the things I say in my blog post is, if your blog reads like a novel, you might want to rethink how you organize it, breaking it up into sections, putting images in there to kind of break up the field of space. Have a little bit more white space too, because that gives a little bit of room for the eye to take a rest and take a break. and look for the next thing, you know, really, because otherwise it's just, if it's all just straight text, then they're likely to just skip over it. And this is also where Neil Patel said that the beginning and maybe the middle, if you have a feature there, but also but the beginning and the end are really key. You know, you want to make sure that something is important is there. And he suggests a question, something that really engages, like Maros said, using you and I, and also making it a conversation. You know, people want to feel as though they're part of the blog post, not just they're being told something, but that they're part of it. So using questions, engaging the user to comment below, you know, maybe asking them an interesting question or something, you know, what did you learn about this that you didn't know before? Please share in the comment below. And he also suggests putting that in italics. I used to put it in bold and capitalized to make sure they don't miss it, but he said that's kind of like yelling at your viewer, so don't do that. But so just putting it in comments might be good, or in italics. So yeah, I don't know. We're giving some good. There's some good tips in here, guys. I hope I'm not going overboard here, but just I want to share a couple more about those, and then I'll share some stories.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead. I mean, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay. Include power words and interesting adjectives, he says. You know, again, you don't want to go overboard with kind of like double entendres. Like he gave the example of using, you know, you don't want to say tired of traffic jams, you know, referring to the traffic or leads, the people that might come to your blog, you know, but some people might think well, most people will think you're talking about a traffic jam on the freeway. So you don't want to use those, but you do want to use interesting words and adjectives, not only in your heading, but in and throughout your blog posts. You know, try to keep it natural sounding. You know, don't string along too many adjectives and adverbs in one sentence. I kind of get carried away with that sometimes, but I try to limit myself to it. But I think that is something that not only is it good for your viewer, your reader, it's more engaging, but it's also something that Google looks for. They look for more variety when they're, you know, variety in content, and they want to put good quality content up on there on the search engine. So words like effortless, incredible, essential, dynamic, things like that can be good.
All right, cool. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just thinking maybe we should split it in two parts because it's quite a lot of stuff we are sharing here, and people might be overwhelmed with all these things. And I was about to say that what we are doing here, we are just sharing some powerful strategies for anybody. If you have business or you don't have a business, where you actually, you know, you don't trade your time for money, because once you write a blog post that will stay there for a couple of years, and people will read your blog post, or you know, in next 10 years maybe, and they will come back to you over and over again, just because your blog post is so great, so and engaging. So make sure you write something that is really good, and people will come back to you, and you will save yourself so much time. All right, so now it's about it, I guess, about all this technical stuff, and I'm really curious about. I want to ask you one question, John, because you have started blogging just is it a couple of weeks ago or days? If you can talk about your emotions you went through, you know, because it's a completely new world. I mean, you know, you do something, you have your job, this and that, and all of a sudden you learn this incredible business opportunity we are involved with here, and you evolve into somebody who is talking on a hangout and giving tips on blogging about Neil Patel and all this stuff. So it's just incredible shift you went through. So if you can maybe talk about this together with maybe your story, or all these kind of like emotional things that are going on regarding what you're doing now with your blog and all this stuff. Because I know myself, I went through a big shift. I mean, like a couple of couple of even months ago, I was so afraid to be on a hangout and to talk, even in English language, because English language is not my mother tongue. So I was like, what are people going to think about me? I'm just some crazy dude from Germany, talking on a hangout and trying to do something, out there. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but today you are here, and I don't know, is it your first hangout now, or?
No, actually, I've done. This is my third one this week. And I started. I'll take you back to more the beginning. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this, but it's still. I just like sharing though with people. I think that's one of the best ways for me to learn is to hear other people talk about it, to hear other people's stories, and so for me to get the chance to do that, that's great. And thanks again for having me on.
Yeah. Very, very did you feel any fear or something like that? Like I did.
yeah. I'll definitely get into that. I just want to take you back to my first blogging experience, and that was probably about 5-6 months ago. Just moved to the States from Korea with my family. I was actually the director of a small private school there. And working like 10 bears. I mean, like 7 to 7 every day, sometimes longer.
What did you do exactly?
On the weekends. I was managing a staff of about 7 teachers and 150 students, and just like I said, working really hard. I was the art director also, so I was preparing. I'm an artist as well. My specialty is ceramics, but I dabble in a little bit of everything. But I was just working so hard, and that's not necessarily why we came back to the States. It was part of it. Part of the reason we came back is for my daughter's education. She was born in Korea. My wife is Korean, so she's half Korean, half American, and we really wanted her to learn English in an American school or an English setting, and the Korean way of learning by rote, instead of really exploring and being more adventurous and stuff like that. We wanted her to have that experience. So we came back, anyways. And right when I got back, I was looking for work. I was looking for a job, and a lot of people thought I was crazy for coming back without finding a job. But I was like, I'll be fine. We'll find something. But in the meantime, I wanted to get something going on my own, because I know that I have skills and talents, and I know that I have something to share with people, both in teaching and parenting. Because I am such a conscious person about both of those things, both teaching and parenting. I write a lot about both of those things, and I knew I could share with people. So I started a blog, and I invested some money into it, quite a lot of money, several $100s into setting up this blog, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna monetize it. I'm gonna get ads on there. I won't need a job. Well, a month went by, and I wrote a blog post here and there, once or twice a week, and some good stuff. And actually, I really enjoyed it. But I didn't really put myself into it. I was also looking for a job. And then I got a job that was just, again, I don't know why I gravitate towards these things sometimes, but again, it was just working like 10-hour days, 12-hour days, just work. I was a teacher, elementary school teacher, and kind of being groomed to be an administrator, a dean, so I was put in a lot of administrative roles, and it's work that I enjoy, being with kids and stuff, but I was just being overworked because I had the skills and they were understaffed. So, I came across this opportunity to start a blog platform and a new blog that actually had the potential to make money, and so that I could achieve that freedom that I was after originally before I got the job. I knew it almost immediately when I saw it. And one of the things actually that helped me kind of go over the edge and really get into it was seeing something like this. I had a conversation actually with one of my mentors for the first time. Actually, I think he's been on this show, Thomas from Denmark. He's been on this hangout, and just seeing him, that he was really doing it, and he's a real person, like us. Like if you're out there listening and you're like, blog this and business that, and just know that there really are people out there just like you. I mean, there's nothing really special about us, I mean, we all have our passions and stuff, but we don't have some kind of special education or special talents that or superpowers that allow us to do this. Anybody can do it, and that's one of the things I realized is that I think I do have some skills towards it already, but I realized that, well, even if I have to learn something, that's great too. So I just dove in headlong and got started. And actually, to answer your question, Maros, one of the early trainings when you go through the program talks about how powerful a live hangout like this can be, and just getting your voice and practicing your voice and stuff. So before I even had viewers to my blog, I just started doing a hangout and talking about some of the things that I was going through as a beginner. So I think even like the second or third week into my blog and into my blogging, I started doing a hangout, and just to give myself a platform to talk about it and start to build a viewership. But like you said, I was really nervous, and I stuttered a lot and things like that, and it was, it took a little bit of time to get over that, and I'm still, as you can see, I'm not great at it, but it ultimately, and actually I'm starting a new hangout too as well, with the team that I'm in, Totally Inspired Living Tribe, also known as Tilt, and we're starting a new hangout called the Tilt Tower Hour, and I'd like to have you guys on as guests sometimes, and certainly everyone's welcome to come view. But on there, the reason I called it the Tower Hour is because I like this idea of building a tower. Applying that analogy to building your business. You can't put the top brick, on the top of the tower and call it done without building all of the bricks, putting all the bricks in all the courses in place. So that's what the analogy I want to talk about. But analogies are kind of boring if you don't have a good story to go with them. And I've got a great story to go with them. While I was in Korea, I was teaching English, and it's a very kind of a typical gig for a lot of people that want to do some traveling and make some extra money, and you go abroad to Korea or Japan, China. There's opportunities there, but I didn't want to just teach English and hang out with my friends on the weekends. I wanted to really get into the culture and learn more about the culture, and I found that there was a studio nearby, a ceramic studio, through a friend of mine. I learned of this ceramic studio, and so one weekend, I went by and I met the guy, the master there, and he took me out to his kiln yard, and he had 2 kilns there, ceramic ovens, and made of brick, and they were wood burning kilns. And actually, that's sort of one of my expertise. I've apprenticed with the wood-burning kiln master guru here in the States, and so I know quite a bit about that. But he pointed to both these kilns, and they look kind of like they were in rubbles, as they often do. But these 2 in particular, they looked like they were just kind of in rubbles. And he said, "So, John, do you think you can fix these kilns for me?" And I just said, I don't think I know how to do that, but what I can do for you is help you build a new one. We can take the bricks from these 2 kilns, put them together, and build a new kiln. I'll design it for you, and we'll build it. And the reason I tell you this story is because for me, that was a huge experience in realizing that you got to do first things first. And unless you start just laying bricks in your business, you're not going to get to the end, to the point where you can finish off that chimney and fire the kiln, basically start being profitable at it. You really just have to start putting the bricks down, laying the courses. And so I learned that lesson sometimes the hard way with this project, but that lesson's coming full circle around to me now, when I realize that, sometimes I want to get to the end. I want to be in Neil Patel. I just want to be a great blogger, right? Yeah, Maros, you're laughing. But and if I think to myself, keep looking up and trying to see the top of the tower. I mean, I think you should keep it in focus and have a vision for what you want to do with your business. That's very, very important. But if you keep getting discouraged that you're not seeing that the top of the tower happen in your business, happen in your life, you need to just go back to the basics and really just take the steps. Take the steps. Don't skip steps. Just take the steps that you need to move your business and your life forward. So that's one of the things I'm learning now, and I think you're probably also curious, Maros, about how recently I went full-time with this. My job it wasn't affording me the time to really work and just put 100% of my time and energy into my passion and into my business. And I was really, instead of laying bricks, I was just like walking a brick to the edge of the wall and setting it there and then going back for another one. It was just really slow. And so what I found out is that if I want to make this happen, I need to spend more time at it. Now, this isn't something that one needs to spend, an exorbitant amount of time at to be successful. Actually, the systems that are offered in the affiliate program here are incredibly powerful, because they're so much of it's automated. A lot of the things that Neil Patel does on his own, or other great bloggers that have come before us they've done on their own, without a lot of these systems in place. And so it really does afford you the chance to build a business and build a web presence without reinventing the wheel. And I just wanted to take it to the next level. And I jumped off the diving board in a sense and jumped in the pool, and now I'm swimming, and it's great. I really enjoy being at home, working at home. I can manage my time how I want to. If I decide to take a long breakfast and play with my daughter before she goes to school, I can do that. I have the time to do just about anything I want. I'm very serious about my business and what I'm doing, but I'm very flexible with my time, and that's something that if anybody out there is considering doing, I really do recommend it. Be diligent about it and how you do it. But when you make that decision, it can be scary at first, because you're like I said, you're kind of jumping into the deep end. But if you just continue to take the steps, the momentum builds. The momentum builds. And I'll tell you, just in the last 2 weeks, I've just been doing this full time now for 2 weeks, and just in the last 2 weeks, I've been able to do more and grow more than I did in the first 2 months that I was involved in Empower Network. So just exponential growth when you have more time to do it. I don't know if I've gone on too long here, Maros, but I just want to encourage people out there. Whatever level you are at with it, just remember, blogging is a huge marketing opportunity, a really, really effective and powerful tool for your business, whether you have an online product, an affiliate product, or whether you're looking for one. This is a great one and a great community. But also, if you have an offline product, if there's something that you want to promote, you want more people to know about, and it's not just for making sales; it's for that excitement that you see in that you get when you see people appreciating and getting value out of your product. So the blog is a great platform for it. B, also, um, whatever level you're at with it, just remember that the steps that you take, as long as you're stepping forward, those are going to be remembered along your journey, and you just keep building and building and building that journey, and you'll get to your destination. Whether it's to be able to travel around the world, or whether you're building a tower and you want to be able to get to the top of that tower and sort of broadcast to many people. It takes time, so don't be discouraged. Just keep taking those steps forward and build your business and you can do it. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents and my what I can offer here today. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
I don't know. I know some stuff about you, John, because I met you in Las Vegas. So I wouldn't know right now what to ask because I know so much already. So I just asked John Curtis if he has anything to ask. John Philip.
Yeah, I just learned a lot. I appreciate it. I mean, that was a lot of feedback on the opportunity. I just wanted to touch base on a couple things that you said really quick. Number one, it is an opportunity, and the reason why it's an opportunity is because of the training that it allows you to have, that you can grow your business to the next level. So there's a lot of money that it costs to get training to properly get the word out. Just like you mentioned, John, it costs a lot of money for marketing. It costs a lot of money for websites. It costs a lot of money for AdWords and for different marketing tactics in order to benefit, because you need to get the word out to a certain number of people in order to make a certain amount of money with whatever it is that you're selling, like you mentioned, online or offline products. And because of the training that is allowed, or that this opportunity provides, that is just an awesome opportunity, because it is just a fraction of the cost that it would cost anybody doing anything. It doesn't matter whether you're promoting a business, or you're promoting a non-profit organization, or you're promoting just letters because you just want to start writing. It doesn't make a difference what you're promoting. You have such advantages of all of the different integrations that come with the blogging platform. So it's just a tremendous opportunity. It teaches you SEO, which is search engine optimization. So different techniques that we were, being a little bit more specific before, but so many different things that you can, again, like John mentioned, share and you can learn first of all, and then you can implement them, and then you can share and teach them, and then that only grows what it is that you're trying to reach, So that's all I wanted to say about that. But my opportunity came because actually the nonprofit organization that I was a part of, that I'm actually on the board of, along with Penny Glinke, I actually met because I was sharing my value through this opportunity. So we are changing lives tremendously, all right? And my life has gotten changed tremendously because we have reached a group of people that just want to be a part of just something that's just outrageous, and it's all across America, and we're touching hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of lives, and it's just getting the word out, and everybody's connecting, and everybody is just, like you said, this community is just tremendous. I mean, the people that are involved in this community are unlike any community that exists that I have seen, and I've been networking in various different ways for the last 20 years, So that's a tremendous opportunity, and that's why, I got involved with it. And besides meeting great people and having my life just change dramatically, it has taught me some lessons and continues to teach me some lessons and brings me across in front of people like you, tremendous people that have tremendous value that I didn't know about otherwise. And again, you want to get the word out to the right people, to the right audience, so that you can deliver the right message. And this is the platform to do that. So great points, Maros, great points, John, and it was a pleasure. And real quick, I just want to give a little props out to a couple little doggies that I got here.
Yeah.
This one right here. This right here is Mia, and this is actually part of my why on why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. My son actually joined the Army, and my daughter-in-law actually, I have a grandson that's almost 4 months old, and it's a little bit too much for them to carry or to take care of Mia. So now Papa has Mia, and she's a little Min Pin Chihuahua mix, and she's a beautiful little dog, and she's about 2 pounds old. And then you know what? Another great thing is that this right here, this is a collar that was made right here. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna bring it in. It says "Crime Scene, Do Not Cross" right there. And this was actually made. It was custom made by somebody, again, through contacts that I've made through this opportunity. And her name is Raven Crescent, and her website, I'm going to give her a shout out. It's Crescents, www.crescents canines, canines.com. Crescentscanines.com. Now, she's a smaller company, but she makes awesome quality stuff. She really cares about it, and that's what this organization is about. It's about meeting like-minded people that really care about helping and changing and paying it forward. So that's my 2 cents, and that was one of the dogs that I take care of, and I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them floating around here. Yeah, I got my hands full, man, but I love this organization and this opportunity, man, so you guys rock.
All right, thank you, John.
Maros,
Fantastic.
if I could just say one more thing before you close off here, could I?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'm glad I met John Curtis today too, because my wife and I have just been talking about getting a dog, and I have a lot of questions about that. So maybe I'll shoot you some questions on Facebook if that's okay. And I love seeing your dogs. That's great. I wanted to jump off and connect some dots here with what Maros said and what you said, John, and that is that this opportunity is, well, I think, what did you say, Maros, that you can't buy your time, basically. You can't buy your time back, something like that. Like John said, the training and what you learn through this opportunity, it would take you years to learn that if you went the do-it-yourself approach. It would take you years to learn that on your own. Or if you went I just don't want to do it myself, I want to pay somebody else to do it, it would cost you thousands, tens of thousands, if not $100,000. I know some people that pay $40,000 a year just for somebody to manage their website. We're talking big money here. Like that guy that spent $26,000 in 3 months just to get his website up there, found out that a blog site that's a fraction of the cost can do the same thing even better. So if you're the least bit interested in starting a business and marketing your business with a blog, as we've talked about today, definitely look into it some more. Get in touch with one of us, because it really is like an optimal opportunity and experience, as we've talked about today. So I just wanted to put that in there, and thanks again for letting me come on and today, Maros. It's been fun getting to know you guys and sharing some stories.
Sure. I mean, thanks for coming, both of you guys. And I think there is so much stuff we can share here, but we will probably keep talking about this business opportunity here on the next Hangout. It will be on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So we changed the time because we believe it's better to have these Hangouts close to the evening time, where people have actually time to be on the live Hangout and don't watch the replay of the Hangout, just to be able to ask questions live on the Hangout if you have any. And if you are watching this replay of this Hangout, just before you actually check out this opportunity we have here and click on this button below this this video, the blue button, join me. There is you have like I believe 14 days to check it out. So if you are not happy with whatever is offering there, the blogging platform, and you don't like anything there, you just ask for a refund. It will be refunded. So you don't risk anything here regarding joining this business opportunity. And just one more thing I want to let you know, guys, is that you probably know Huffington Post is one of the great websites out there, and the lady who started this website, she was alone and she was blogging. So, and now it's one of the biggest websites, kind of blogs out there, because it's a news blog. So it's even more powerful than maybe just writing about your niche. But still, you can write about news in your niche, which is so much easier to rank in Google, just because Google loves news. There are many other strategies you can use, and why me and both John's blog is not just to share our passion and kind of spread the word and so on and so on. We actually meet on a regular basis 5-6 figure earners, people who make really good money with blogging, and we see that it's just incredible opportunity for anybody to make money from home, just writing whatever you want to write about, and preferably your niche, your passion, because it's so much easier to have a income online from home if you love what you do. And that's what we are trying to share here. It is work. Yeah, we don't want to say it's not work. It is work, because you have to sit at your computer and you have to type in the content. But guess what? You love fishing. You love I don't know, sport. Maybe you love teaching English. What John did in Korea. You can blog about anything and make money from home. So just make sure you check out this opportunity. The button is below, and we have any questions, just hit me or John Curtis and John Philip on the information that's provided there. You see my name there. You see John Philip's website. I just click on his picture so that you can see there. Yeah, it's workwithjam.com. And then we have John Curtis. You will find him on probably his Facebook, right, John? I mean, yeah. It's probably the easiest way to find you on Facebook.
Yeah. westcoastdogtrainer.net also.
All right, cool. All right, thank you guys, and as I said before, the next hangout will be Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to meet you guys again. We will keep talking about blogging and how to be successful and make money from home with blogging. Thank you guys again, and have a good day.
Yeah, thanks.
Can you guys still see me?
I think we're still live. You can hit the end button.
Yeah. I want to hit it, but it's just like a black window here, so I can't really hit it. I just closed this hangout, and you can also close the hangout, and I think it will stop the live streaming. All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. See ya.
Ciao.